Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? DishNet34 here, welcoming you to tonight's episode of This Week in Perfect Team, episode number 181. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Oh boy. It is good to be back. Oh man, it is great to be back. I know I took a week off last week. It was a very relaxing week. But you know what? It was, I don't know, maybe perfect timing a little bit because, this is a week that I know some of you have been waiting for. It is our final set of Topps cards tonight. Oh man, I'm looking forward to this. I hope y'all are too. Oh man, we got plenty of stuff. Plenty of stuff for y'all tonight. Let's go ahead and get things started. Hopefully y'all have had a great week so far. I know I have. Oh man, let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started with a look at the Perfect League standings. As of tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the McNoosh Brigade currently in first place in the American Conference East Division, a 5.5 game lead on the Edinburgh Diamond Devils at 57 and 44. The AC Central Division, the Gonzaga Bulldogs in first place right now with a 52 and 46 record, 2 games up on the California Halos in that division. In the AC West Division, the biggest lead out of every division so far, the Merseyside Insufferables with a record of 64 and 34, a 12.5 game lead on the Prior Lake Polar Bears. What a record so far for them. They have far and away, well, not far and away, but by 1 game, the best record in Perfect League so far. The AC Maddox Division has the San Angelo Warbirds in first place with a record of 59 and 41, 3 games up on the Sleepy Hollow Horsemen in that division. So some good teams over in the American Conference. Take a look at the National Conference, and we have the Cheeto Cheetahs at 63 and 38 in the NC East Division with an 8-game lead over the Durham Los Toros. Fun division to watch right there. No, it's even funner, even more fun, I guess. A really close race in the NC Central. The False Hustle up by just 1.5 games on the Houston Slumpbusters and up by only 2 games on the Brooklyn Cyclones. 56 and 43 record for the False Hustle right there. And then in the NC West Division, even more of a tighter race. The Castroville Mashers in first place right now with a 56 and 44 record. Just 1 game up on the Fogtown Stars and 1.5 games up on the FFS Snails. So very close race in that division. That'll be fun to watch play out the rest of the week. And finally, in the NC Seaver Division, we have the PGH Beaches with a record of 55 and 44, just 1 game up on the Manchester Worker Bees, 2.5 games up on the Gary Railcats. So there you go. There's a look at the Perfect League standings for this week so far. Before we move on, there is one thing I forgot to mention at the top of the show. Next week, our regular Thursday show kind of falls on Thanksgiving. As an American hosting the show, I want to spend some time with my family on that Thursday night. So we are moving This Week in Perfect Team to next Friday. That episode of This Week in Perfect Team number 182 will be happening on Friday, November 25th. We will get I'm debating whether or not to start it at 8 or 9. I'm leaning toward 8 right now, but I'm not 100% sure. We will have a time for y'all once I actually make up my mind. You're not doing a Thursday show because you'll be moping over the Lions losing by 50 to the Bills. No. The Lions are only going to lose by 20 to the Bills. Let's be realistic here. Oh, man. So let's move on to our limited edition cards of the night. We have a couple of them for you tonight. And we start off with, hey, speaking of Detroit, we have a Detroit card for you as our first limited edition card of the evening, and it is 97 overall Bobo Newsom from the 1940 Detroit Tigers. 92 stuff, 94 movement, 82 control, fastball, curveball, changeup, and knuckle curve combo with 99 stamina and a little bit of a yikes on the hold runners, just a 4 right there. 21-5 with a 2.83 ERA in the 1940 season for Bobo Newsom. A 1.68 ERA plus 5.6 strikeouts per 9, 3.4 walks per 9. He was an all-star in the 1940 season, 4th in AL MVP that year, and one of 29 players in history to appear in MLB games in 4 decades. That's pretty incredible. I mean, this guy played at what, age 45, I think? Holy cats. Bobo Newsom from the 1940 Detroit Tigers, fly ball pitcher, 93 to 95 miles an hour in Perfect Team 23. 25 copies available of that card. They will be in packs later on tonight. All right, so, now that we have a pitcher limited edition card that we've released tonight, how about a 25 copy catcher card? And let me tell y'all, we got a good one for y'all here. We have limited edition 100 overall Roy Campanella from the 1951 Dodgers. 75 BABIP, 108 power, 87 avoid K, 106 contact, 89 gap power, and 70 I. Look at the defense on this one as well. 91 catcher ability, 99 on the catcher arm. But oh my, look at those V left splits. 75 BABIP, 115 power, 90 avoid K, 110 contact, 101 gap power, and 71 on the I. That is a fun card right there. 1951 season for Roy Campanella was a dang good one for Mr. Campanella. 325, 393, 590 on the slash line, 33 home runs, 108 RBI, and a 159 OPS plus. He was an all-star this year, but also more importantly, the National League MVP for that year. Career high in Baseball Reference WAR with a 6.9 and a very nice caught stealing percentage. I am not making that up. 69% caught stealing percentage behind the plate. This guy had a cannon for an arm behind the plate, and he might have one for your team if you manage to get this card. So there you go. Roy Campanella from the 1951 Dodgers, 25 copy limited edition card in Perfect Team 23. All right, folks. It is now that time for the content. The Topps set number 3. We have 30 mission rewards for the 30 team missions coming out today as part of our Topps partnership. Let's break down what those missions are real quick. For those of you who are not familiar with this, let's just rip off the Band-Aid. Let's get it out of the way. Here we go. So, Topps missions. If you collect the one Topps hitter and the one Topps pitcher from one team and lock them in, you will receive that team's reward and a pack or packs, depending on the mission that you will get. So we will have packs along with the reward card for each of the individual team missions. Plus, there will also be pack rewards for completing each division's mission as well. So if you complete, say, all 5 missions from the AL Central, you will be getting a pack or 2, maybe. We'll see. So that's pretty fun right there. And then if you complete all 30 individual team missions, the division missions and the individual team reward cards will not be required. You will receive an ultimate topper. So there you go. let's go ahead and get started with the cards tonight. And we start off with the Washington Nationals. Now, there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of intense debate, very intense debate on who this Nationals card is going to be. Oh man, there's a lot of people that we could choose from. I say people as a general term because we're going from the Washington Nationals here, and let me tell you, this is a tough one. This was a tough one, and you know, if the Washington Nationals didn't trade Juan Soto, this would probably be Juan Soto, but then they traded Juan Soto. But you know, there's a lot of different. There were maybe a few Nationals cards out there that we could choose for this. And you know what? We just probably had to toss a coin or something here and like just kind of pick someone. So we figured, you know, we might as well pick a guy that was involved in that Juan Soto trade. And ladies and gentlemen, that guy that we have chosen is 90 overall, Luke Voit from the Washington Nationals. 63 BABIP, 93 power, 72 avoid K, 89 contact, 70 power, gap power, and 80 on the eye. Look at the card art on this one right here. Ooh. Look at that card art. I mean, this card art right here. This picture of Luke Voit, not gonna lie, it goes freaking hard. Like, wow. But look at the V left splits here. 68 BABIP, 95 power, 73 avoid K, 91 contact, 72 gap, and 81 on the eye. And, you know, he's not bad against righties either. 68 BABIP, 92 power, 71 avoid K, 89 contact, 70 gap power, and 80 on the eye. You know, Luke Voit, you know, he's been kind of all over the place in his career. I mean, he was with the Yankees, he was with the Cardinals, he was with the Padres for a hot second, now with the Nationals. You know, we kind of got to give a little love to Luke Voit. And, you know, this card will help with that. This year, hit 226, 308, 402, did hit 22 home runs, 69 RBI, pretty nice, 106 OPS plus. Played for San Diego and Washington, part of the Juan Soto trade. Career low ground ball percentage, so he got the ball up in the air a lot more than he did in previous years. But he also kind of struck out a lot too. So, but either way, Luke Voit, defense, it's not bad. 30 range, 46 error, 53 arm, 28 on the turn double play. Speed, stealing, and base running, But there you go. Luke Voit from the Washington Nationals in Perfect Team 23. All right, next up we go to everybody's favorite National League West team, the Colorado Rockies, for our next one. And, you know, there were maybe a couple of guys that we could have chosen for this one, but you know what? We have to choose one of the biggest success stories of the last few years in baseball, and that is the story of 92 overall closer Daniel Bard from the Colorado Rockies. 96 stuff, 99 movement, and 79 control. A little bit better against righties than he is against lefties with the 102 stuff, 100 movement, and 80 on the control. Fastball, slider, changeup combo. 18 on the stamina, 62 on the hold runners. 57 games in the 2022 season for Daniel Bard. 60 and a third innings pitched, a 1.79 ERA. 34 saves, a really good strikeout rate of 10.3 Ks per 9, 3.7 walks per 9. He finished second on Colorado in Baseball Reference WAR at 3.8. Had the lowest ERA of his career. Lowest ERA of his career. And the lowest FIP of his career. I think it was in the 2.2 range or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have it right in front of me right now. And he parlayed that into a recently signed 2-year extension for the Colorado Rockies. So a very fun story. You know, he was out of baseball for a couple years. He was with the Diamondbacks after he kind of flamed out of the minors after developing like severe control issues. And then he came back in, I want to say it was 2020, and kind of, you know, had a bit of a renaissance on the mound in Colorado of all places. So very cool comeback story for Daniel Bard. He was the 2020 Comeback Player of the Year. And you know what? Pretty decent guy right here. Daniel Bard from the Colorado Rockies in Perfect Team 23. All right, next up we go to the Kansas City Royals. The Kansas City Royals, and we have a pretty good one for you here. The rookie sensation for the Kansas City Royals, it is Bobby Witt Jr. from the Kansas City Royals. 70 BABIP, 77 power, 65 avoid K, 82 contact, 76 gap, and 60 on the eye. Pretty decent defense over at third and short. 85 range, 84 error, 91 on the infield arm, and 76 on the turnable play. But look at the speed on this guy. 101 speed, 98 stealing, and 100 on the base running. 254, 294, 428 on the year with 20 home runs, 80 RBI, 30 stolen bases as well, a 102 OPS plus. Finished second on the Royals in home runs, fourth in Rookie of the Year voting in the American League, fifth ever player to be in the 2020 club in their first season in the bigs. Bobby Witt Jr., honestly, I'm really hoping for big things for him in the future. And this is a pretty good start for him, you know. Definitely going to improve a little bit. Maybe he can be a 30-30 guy potentially in the future. I mean, 30 stolen bases in his first year. Not bad. Not bad. But there you go. Bobby Witt Jr. from the Kansas City Royals in Perfect Team 23. All right, next up we go to the Arizona Diamondbacks for this one. And, you know, there were a few guys we could have chosen here. And, you know, this we kind of figured, you know, there were quite a few guys we could have chosen here. But the team went with a pretty versatile guy, I should say. This is 93 overall Ketel Marte from the Arizona Diamondbacks. 76 BABIP, 66 power, 79 avoid K, 87 contact, 101 on the gap power, and 77 on the eye. Pretty good defense over at second base and in center field as well. Is qualified to learn short, left, and right. 74 range, 75 error, 68 arm, and 76 turn double play in the infield. In the outfield, 84 range, 77 error, and 75 on the arm. 42 speed, 85 stealing, and 82 base running as well. Ketel Marte, it was a little bit of a down year. I can't really sugarcoat that. Ketel Marte, it was a little bit of a down year for him, but he had the second highest walk rate of his career at 9.9% and a career high in doubles with 42 this year. Not a bad year, but you know what? Not as good as this 2021, but there's always that room for a rebound next year. 240, 321, 407 on slash line, 12 homers, 52 RBI, and a 106 OPS plus on the year. So there you go. Ketel Marte from the Arizona Diamondbacks in Perfect Team 23. All right, next up, we go to the Detroit Tigers, my Detroit Tigers. And, you know, there were a couple of players that could have been chosen here. You know, you had the star power of Javier Baez. You had the awesome pitching of maybe a Tarek Skubal this year. And you know what? We went with one of those. We went with one of those players. And, you know, we had to go with the guy who is actually good this year for the Detroit Tigers. And that is 93 overall starting pitcher Tarek Skubal from the Detroit Tigers. 87 stuff, 85 movement, 82 control, fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, and splitter combo. A little bit better against lefties than he is against righties. 90 stuff, 87 movement, 82 control, 82 on the stamina, and 57 on the hold runner. 95 to 97 on the velocity. Fly ball pitcher right here. Now, Skubal had his season kind of cut short due to injury, but when he was on the mound, he was very effective for the Detroit Tigers. 7-8 record with a 3.52 ERA in 21 games started. 8.9 strikeouts per nine, 2.4 walks per nine. Led Detroit starting pitchers in ERA this year and also in strikeouts per nine and homers per nine. Career high ground ball rate of 46.2% and a career low fly ball rate of 24.8%. So, not a bad year for Tarik Skubal. A lot of room for improvement once he recovers from injury next season. So there you go, Tarik Skubal from the Detroit Tigers in Perfect Team 23. All right, next up we go to the Baltimore Orioles. And right off the bat, I know who y'all are anticipating. However, this was going to be Adley Rutschman. I'm not going to lie here. This was going to be Adley Rutschman, but unfortunately, due to circumstances outside of our control, we are not able to get you an Adley Rutschman. I know it sucks. It pained me when I heard that news. So we had to kind of do a little bit of a detour here. And so we kind of had to go back and take a look at the Orioles season. And what really defined the Orioles season was a lot of really good performances on the mound. And particularly in their bullpen. I mean, there are a lot of good players in their bullpen this year. I mean, Jorge Lopez kind of got traded away to the Twins at the deadline. But we have their closer for the second half of the season. It is 94 overall Felix Bautista from the Baltimore Orioles. 134 stuff, 75 movement, 79 control, fastball, curveball, splitter combo here. 135 stuff against lefties. Has a little bit of reverse splits here. 75 movement and 79 control against lefties. 133 stuff, 74 movement and 79 control against righties right here. Fastball, curveball, splitter combo. 22 stamina, 68 on the hold runners. This was his rookie year this year, and he was phenomenal. 65 games, 65 and 2/3 innings pitched, a 2.19 ERA, 15 saves, 12.1 strikeouts per nine, and 3.2 walks per nine on the year. This guy, really phenomenal on the mound in that second half. 2.43 ERA in save situations after taking over as closer after the Jorge Lopez trade. Fantastic year for Felix Bautista, and not a bad card here. Here in the Topps collection, there you go, 94 overall, Felix Bautista in Perfect Team 23. All right, next up, we go to the Oakland Athletics. The Oakland Athletics, and you know what? There was only one guy to choose as the topper for the Oakland Athletics, and that is their all-star well, not really all-star, but their starting catcher, 95 overall, Sean Murphy from the Oakland A's. 71 BABIP, 77 power, 69 avoid K, 84 contact, 89 gap power, 71 I, but you are getting Sean Murphy for that defense right there. 100 catcher ability and 96 on the catcher arm. Oh man, this guy, stud behind the plate. 250, 332, 426 on the slash line with 18 home runs, 66 RBI, and a 120 OPS plus. Career highs in games played, batting average, homers, RBI, and doubles, and led the Oakland Athletics in wins above replacement this year. Not bad for Sean Murphy this year. A little bit better against lefties than he is against righties at the plate. 90 gap power, 85 contact, 70 avoid K, 78 power, 71 BABIP, and 72 I against southpaws. So there you go. 95 overall, Sean Murphy in perfect team 23. All right, let's go back out east. Let's go back out east and go to the Boston Red Sox for our next card of the evening. And you know what? Despite them kind of flaming out at the end of the year, they had some good performances at the plate. We had Bogarts, we've had Nathan Eovaldi. So, why not go back to that left side of that Boston infield and go for their third baseman, Rafael Devers, 96 overall, 87 BABIP, 98 power, 78 avoid K, 109 contact, 86 gap power, and 62 on the eye. A little bit better against righties than he is against lefties with an 88 BABIP, 99 power, 80 avoid K, 110 contact, 88 gap, and 62 on the eye. Can play first and can play third as well. 67 range, 60 error, 76 arm, and 38 on the turn double play. 28 speed, 69 stealing, and 51 on the base running as well. 295, 358, 521 on the slash line this year. A really good year for Rafael Devers. 27 homers, 88 RBI, and a 141 OPS plus. He was an all-star for the Red Sox this year. Finished second on the Red Sox in wins above replacement. Career high in OPS plus as well with a 141. Even better than his, which season was that? Even better than his 2019 season, which was only a 132 OPS plus, where he hit 32 homers and 115 RBI. This guy, pretty darn good. Led the Boston team in home run and RBI as well. Solid player, and a solid card right here. Rafael Devers in perfect team 23. All right, next up we head over to the Cincinnati Reds. The Cincinnati Reds. And the Reds were a team. I mean, there were a few players we could have chosen for this Reds team this year. But you know what? We had to look at some of their batters this year. And they had a couple of good ones. But in a small sample size, this guy far and away had the best season for the Cincinnati Reds at the plate, and that was their catcher, 97 overall, Tyler Stevenson. 99 BABIP, 61 power, 59 avoid K, 97 contact, 63 gap, and 64 on the eye. Very big BABIP-fueled season, I guess, a little bit for Tyler Stevenson. Defense, not bad. 85 ability, 77 on the arm. Can play first base as well. 97 contact. Let's see. There's not really a whole lot of splits there. I mean, only a couple point gap in contact. A couple points in power. A couple points across the board there in terms of the gap between righties and lefties. Solid player here. 319, 372, 482 on the slash line with 6 homers, 35 RBI, and a 130 OPS plus in 50 games this year for the Reds. 7th on Cincinnati in WAR. Only Cincinnati hitter to hit over 300. That is saying something this year, folks. Threw out 27% of base runners as well. So, not a bad year for Tyler Stevenson. Unfortunately, cut short through injury. We're really hoping for some big things next year for him. But there you go, Tyler Stevenson from the Cincinnati Reds in perfect team 23. All right, next up we go to, we stay in the NL Central here, and we go to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Mateys, we go to the Pirates. And we go to probably one of their best batters of the year, one of their more consistently good players of the last few seasons, and that is Bryan Reynolds. 79 BABIP, 90 power, 70 avoid K, 96 contact, 77 gap, 84 on the eye. A little bit better against righties than he is against lefties, but can play left field, can play center field, and is pretty good at it too. 91 range, 91 error, and 74 on the outfield arm. 41 speed, 76 stealing, and 76 base running as well. A little bit of a down year from his 2021 season, but still a solid year for the Pirates. 262, 345, 461 on the slash line, 27 homers, 62 RBI, and a 126 OPS plus for the Buccos. Finished second on Pittsburgh in wins above replacement with a 2.9. Career high in home runs, however, this year led the Pirates in homers and RBI on the year. Probably one of their best offensive players this side of Brian Hayes. So a very solid season for Brian Reynolds and a solid card here. 97 overall, Brian Reynolds in Perfect Team 23. All right, next up, we stay once again in the NL Central. A little bit of a run of NL Central, folks, here. And we go to the Chicago Cubs. The Chicago Cubs this year, you know, there are probably a couple of players we could have chosen from here. I mean, Seiya Suzuki had a pretty solid rookie year, but and Ian Happ had a solid year as well, but we went with their catcher, and that is Wilson Contreras from the Chicago Cubs. 97 overall, 73 BABIP, 79 power, 65 avoid K, 85 contact, 78 gap, and 75 on the eye, 80 catcher ability, and 102 on the catcher arm. Of cannon, an absolute cannon behind the plate. 28 speed, 53 stealing, and 63 on the base running. 243, 349, 466 with 22 homers on the year, 55 RBI, a 128 OPS plus. He was an all-star this year, finished third on the Cubs in wins above replacement, career high in OPS plus, and a 31% caught stealing percentage. So not a bad year for Wilson Contreras. A little bit better against lefties at the plate than he is against righties. So there you go. Wilson Contreras from the Chicago Cubs in Perfect Team 23. All right, our final diamond of the evening. Our final diamond of the evening comes to us from the Texas Rangers. The Texas Rangers. And, you know, there were a couple guys we could have gone for this year, but there was one relief pitcher that had a really solid season this year for the Rangers coming out of their bullpen, and that was 98 overall Brock Burke from the Texas Rangers. 102 stuff, 102 movement, and 90 on the control. 109 stuff, 109 movement, and 92 control against left-handed batters. Oh, man. Fastball, slider, changeup combo. And pretty solid, pretty serviceable a little bit against righties as well. 100 stuff, 100 movement, 89 on the control. 25 stamina, and 49 on the hold runners. 52 games for Brock Burke this year on the mound. A 1.97 ERA, 9.8 strikeouts per nine. Almost at that 10 number. 2.6 walks per nine, finished third among Texas pitchers in wins above replacement, had the lowest walks plus hits per innings pitched in that Texas bullpen with a 1.057 whip right there. Not a bad card right here. Probably pretty useful for a lot of bullpens. There you go. Texas Rangers reliever, lefty reliever, Brock Burke in Perfect Team 23. All right, let's go to the perfect levels here. And we start with the Minnesota Twins. And let me tell you, the Twins, you know, their offense, not as good as it was in previous seasons, but still a solid offense despite all the injuries in here. But, you know, there's one guy that, there were a couple guys we could have gone for here, you know, but we decided to go a little bit on the defensive side of the ball here with a lot of power. And that, my friends, for the Twins, we have 100 overall Byron Buxton from the Minnesota Twins. 63 BABIP, 108 power, 65 avoid K, 89 contact, 72 gap, and 65 on the eye. But look at that defense in center field. 104 range, 100 error, and 98 on the arm. Whoo! That defense, that range, oh my God. Plus, some really good speed stealing and base running. 80 speed, 96 stealing, and 100 on the base running right here. Oh man. He might not hit a lot. If he makes contact, it's probably going out of the yard. But my goodness, he is a vacuum cleaner in center field. 224, 306, 526 on the slash line, 28 homers, 51 RBI, 135 OPS plus in 92 games. He was an all-star for the Twins this year, finished third on the Twins in wins above replacement, led the Twins in homers and OPS plus despite only playing in 92 games, and had a career high in home runs and RBI on the year. But there you go. Byron Buxton from the Minnesota Twins in Perfect Team 23. Alrighty. Fun card. This is a fun card right here. I mean, I'd play him just for the defense alone out there in center field. Oh my goodness. At least. All right, so there you go. Let's move on to the Tampa Bay Rays for our next card right here. And let me tell you, the Rays, they were defined by their pitching this year. And to illustrate the excellence of that rotation, look no further to our next card here. 100 overall, Shane McClanahan from the Tampa Bay Rays. 133 stuff, 89 movement, 89 control. A lot better against lefties than he is against righties. 140 stuff, 92 movement, and 90 control against lefties. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup combo on this guy. 79 stamina and 74 on the hold runners. He's a ground ball guy as well. Can throw 97 to 99. Oh my goodness. Shane McClanahan, man, before he got injured, he was on track for maybe at least Cy Young consideration. He was that good. 12-8 with a 2.54 ERA, a 142 ERA plus, 10.5 strikeouts per nine, 2.1 walks per nine. He was an all-star this year, second in the American League in WHIP behind Justin Verlander. He was second in the AL in opponent's batting average with a 194 batting average. Led Tampa Bay in wins above replacement with 4.0. My goodness, what a year for Shane McClanahan. This is a pretty good card right here for the Tampa Bay Rays. 100 overall. He is in Perfect Team 23. What a season he had. Goodness gracious. All right, next up, we go to the south side of Chicago. And let me tell you, there were a few guys we could have chosen from here. I mean, you had Tim Anderson's kind of short season, but which was pretty decent. You had a guy like Eloy Jimenez who was hitting dingers. But then you also had our next card here. And that, my friends, is 100 overall, Luis Robert from the Chicago White Sox. 85 BABIP, 92 power, 82 avoid K, 106 contact, 74 gap, and 60 on the eye. Some very solid defense in center. He can learn left and right as well. 96 range, 92 error, and 94 on the arm. Not a whole lot of splits with this guy right here. Only maybe 1 or 2 point split in between righties and lefties. But when he was on the field this year, he was pretty good. 284, 319, 426 on the slash line, 12 home runs, 56 RBI, a 109 OPS plus, second among White Sox hitters in wins above replacement, and a career low strikeout rate even at 19.2%. So there you go. Speed, stealing, and base running, not bad either. 70 speed, 91 stealing, and 55 on the base running. So there you go. There you go. Luis Robert from the Chicago White Sox in Perfect Team 23. All right, next up, we stay in the Central Division. We go to the NL Central. Back to the NL Central we go for our next card. We go to Milwaukee. We go to Milwaukee, and we head to the pitcher's mound for their next card, and it is 100 overall, Corbin Burnes from the Milwaukee Brewers. 136 stuff, 93 movement, 92 control. Lot better against righties than he is against lefties. Slider, curveball, changeup, sinker, cutter combo right here. 86 stamina, 39 on the hold runners, extreme ground ball type, and 96 to 98 miles per hour. Oh man, what a card this is. Against righties, 139 stuff, 95 movement, and 93 on the control. A very solid card to have on the mound. 12-8 record for the Brew Crew this year. A 2.94 ERA, a 1.34 ERA plus, 10.8 strikeouts per 9, 2.3 walks per 9. He was an all-star this year. Second in the NL in hits per 9 and strikeouts per 9. Led the NL in strikeouts even with 243. And led the NL in games started with 33. Second in Milwaukee in Baseball Reference WAR as well with a 4.0. So there you go. Corbin Burnes, solid pitcher for the Brewers, and a solid card here in Perfect Team 23. All right, next up, we head out to the Pacific Northwest. And ladies and gentlemen, we bring to you the 2022 American League Rookie of the Year, 100 overall, Julio Rodriguez from the Seattle Mariners. 93 BABIP, 94 power, 66 avoid K, 107 contact, 73 gap, and 78 on the eye. Can play center. He can play right field pretty well as well. 93 range, 93 error, and 90 on the outfield arm. Speed, stealing, and base running pretty darn good. 89 speed, 94 stealing, and 95 on the base running. This guy had a sensational rookie year for the Seattle Mariners. 284, 345, 509, 28 homers, 75 RBI, a 147 OPS plus. Zero. There's not a lot of splits with this guy here either. This is solid. Solid right here. He was the AL Rookie of the Year, a 2022 All-Star, put on an absolute show in the Home Run Derby, if y'all recall. Silver Slugger this year, and one of 3 rookies ever with 25 homers and 25 stolen bases in the regular season. What a season for J-Rod. And man, he has so much upside. I cannot wait to see him in future seasons. And this card right here, solid. So there you go. Julio Rodriguez from the Seattle Mariners in Perfect Team 23. All right, next up, we stay on the West Coast. We go a little bit further south, and we go to the San Francisco Giants. The San Francisco Giants, and we have probably their best starting pitcher on the year. Ladies and gentlemen, 100 overall, Carlos Rodon from the San Francisco Giants. 145 stuff, 97 movement, 79 control, fastball, slider, curveball, changeup combo here. Big stuff on this guy right here. 152 stuff against lefties, 100 movement. Control, little bit of an issue. With this guy, but stamina of 89, 40 on the hold runners. But this guy will strike out a lot of guys. 14-8 record this year, 2.88 ERA, 2.25 on the FIP, 12 strikeouts per 9, 2.6 walks per 9. He was an all-star this year, led the MLB in strikeouts per 9. Also led in FIP as well. And he also set the single season 10-plus strikeout game record in Giants history. He had 10 games of 10 or more strikeouts, I believe, passing both Tim Lincecum and I believe Jason Schmidt this year. So, a solid year for Carlos Rodon on the mound, and he is in. Perfect team 23. All right, next up, we head back east in the National League, and we go to the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves, and there were quite a few guys we could choose from with this one. And we went to the hot corner for the Atlanta Braves for our next card, and it is 100 overall, Austin Riley from the Atlanta Braves. 86 BABIP, 113 power, 61 on the avoid K, 107 contact, 107 gap power, and 75 on the eye. Some big power on this third baseman right here. Look at the splits against lefties here. 111 gap, 110 contact, 118 on power. Whoo boy. Whoo boy. Can play first and third, and is also qualified to learn left and right as well. 76 range, 75 error, 74 arm, 43 on the turn double play, 70 range in the outfield as well with 58 error and 70 on the outfield arm. Speed, stealing, and base running, not that good. 39 speed, 41 stealing, 55 on the base running. But not a bad year for Mr. Riley. 273, 349, 528 with 38 home runs, 93 RBI, 142 OPS plus on the year. He was an all-star for the Braves. Led the NL in total bases with 325, career high 6.5 WAR, and led the team in wins above replacement. So there you go. Austin Riley from the Atlanta Braves in perfect team 23. Not a bad card right here for Austin Riley. Oh man, that's going to be a fun one. All right, let's stay in the NL East here. Let's stay in the NL East and go to the Miami Marlins. The Miami Marlins. And, you know, there's only one guy. There's only one guy that would even qualify as a topper card for the Miami Marlins. And that, my friends, is 100 overall NL Cy Young Award winner, Sandy Alcantara from the Miami Marlins. 108 stuff, 109 movement, and 93 control. Look at the splits against righties. 113 stuff, 108 movement, and 94 control. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, sinker combo here. And oh boy, look at the stamina here. This is a high stamina right here. 103 on the stamina, 53 on the hold runners, extreme ground ball type, 98 to 100 miles an hour, giving the due diligence he deserves. 14-9 record in the 2022 season, a 2.28 ERA, 178 ERA plus, 8.1 strikeouts per 9, 2 walks per 9. He was an all-star, the NL Cy Young Award winner. Led MLB in complete games with 6. Led in innings pitched with 228 and 2/3. Had a shutout as well, and he's tied for the most shutouts in MLB since 2019 with 3 of them. 3 of them. Hence the pretty big stamina right there. But man, this is a solid card right here. Really, really solid pitcher right here. I mean, yeah, they do allow pitchers to throw complete games these days. I know. It's shocking, right? Right? It's crazy. It's crazy. But man, this is a crazy card right here for Sandy Alcantara. He is in. Perfect team 23. Alrighty. And you know what? We're going to go on a run of NL East here. We go to the Philadelphia Phillies. We go to the Philadelphia Phillies for our next card of the evening, and we look to that Phillies outfield for our next card of the evening, and that, my friends, is 100 overall right fielder Bryce Harper from the Philadelphia Phillies. 92 BABIP, 98 power, 80 avoid K, 114 contact, 108 gap, and 92 on the eye. A little bit better against righties than he is against lefties, with 115 contact, 109 gap, 100 power, 92 BABIP, 83 avoid K, and 93 on the eye. And defensively, not that bad in right field. 72 range, 68 error, and 101 on the outfield arm. 36 speed, 88 stealing, and 78 base running for Bryce Harper. And he had a little bit of a shortened season due to injury. Missed a little bit midway-ish through the year, but he was still a solid hitter for the Phillies. 286, 364, 514 on the slash line, 18 home runs, 65 RBI, a 145 OPS plus. He was an all-star this year, led the Phillies in average and OPS plus. 2.5 WAR, was third among Philadelphia hitters this year. Very, very fun card for Bryce Harper. 36 speed, 88 stealing, and 78 on the base running. Not much of a bunter either, but this is pretty good stuff right here. So there you go. Bryce Harper from the Philadelphia Phillies in Perfect Team 23. All right, next up we go to Canada. And we go to the Toronto Blue Jays. And we have probably, we have a pretty good guy for you right here. There's a lot of guys we could go on with. I've seen a lot of speculation on who this could be. Was it going to be a guy like Vlad Jr.? Was it going to be a guy like Bo Bichette? Was it going to be someone like a George Springer? But, we decided to go to the pitcher's mound for this one. And we have 100 overall, Kevin Gausman from the Toronto Blue Jays. 99 stuff, 101 movement, 106 on the control. Fastball, slider, changeup, splitter combo right here. Look at those splits against righties. Oh my God. 102 stuff, 104 movement, and 107 on the control. Nelly. 86 stamina and 45 on the hold runners. And Kevin Gausman, what a year. What a year for the Toronto Blue Jays. 12-10 record, a 3.35 ERA, a 1.16 ERA plus. Led the AL in a Ks to walk ratio with a 7.32. He had 10.6 strikeouts per nine, 1.4 walks per nine. He did not walk a lot of folks this year. Career low walk rate at 3.9%, and he led the Toronto Blue Jays in strikeouts with 205 strikeouts right here. Oh man, what a year for Kevin Gausman. This is a fun card right here. Kevin Gausman from the Blue Jays in Perfect Team 23. Alrighty, next up on the evening, we go back to the National League Central, and we have your recently announced 2022 National League Most Valuable Player, 100 overall, first baseman, Paul Goldschmidt from the St. Louis Cardinals. 90 BABIP, 100 power, 78 avoid K, 112 contact, 84 gap, and 99 on the eye. And not bad defense over at first base either. 51 range, 71 error, 51 arm, and 44 on the turn double play. Look at the splits against lefties here. 90 BABIP, 104 power, 81 avoid K, 114 contact, 86 gap, and 103 on the eye. Holy moly. And what a year Paul Goldschmidt had. 317, 404, 578 on the slash line, 35 home runs, 115 RBI, 180 on the OPS plus. He was an all-star as well as the MVP, Silver Slugger as well, led the National League in slugging percentage and OPS plus, and finished third in the NL in wins above replacement with 7.8. But look at those counting stats right there. 35 homers, 115 RBI, a solid year for Paul Goldschmidt. Finally winning an MVP award for he's had just a solid career, folks. Like, he is low key. Like, maybe on the I'm not gonna say Hall of Fame. I'm not gonna say Hall of Fame, but he's really, really good. 63 speed, 90 stealing, and 96 on the base running as well. So there you go. Paul Goldschmidt from the St. Louis Cardinals in Perfect Team 23. All right, next up, we stay in the Central Division and we go to, is this our final Central Division card? I do believe this is our final Central Division card. We go to the Cleveland Guardians. The Cleveland Guardians, and let me tell you, there's been a lot of speculation on who this could be. But you know what? We just could not ignore probably the best relief season of the entire season. And that, my friends, is 100 overall, Emmanuel Clase from the Cleveland Guardians. 97 stuff, 109 movement, 106 control, and look at the right-handed splits right here. 101 stuff, 111 movement, 108 control, slider cutter combo right here, 21 stamina, 53 on the hold runner, extreme ground ball, can throw upwards of 100 miles an hour. Oh my goodness. This is just a bonkers reliever right here. Whoo, buddy. 77 games for Clase on the year, 72 and 2/3 innings pitched, a 1.36 ERA, 42 saves, 9.5 strikeouts per 9, 1.2 walks per 9. He was an all-star for the Guardians this year, led MLB in saves with 42, helping Cleveland to the AL Central title and making it to the division series. Led in games finished, 62.8% ground ball rate, almost 63% ground ball rate. That is insane. Insane. And he only gave up a 167 batting average against to opposing hitters. Just insane. Insane season, an insane card for Emmanuel Clase, who is in Perfect Team 23. Alrighty, next up, we head back out west and we go to the LA Dodgers. We go to the LA Dodgers and we have 100 overall right fielder Mookie Betts. Oh, look at this Mookie card right here. 79 BABIP, 101 power, 83 avoid K, 105 contact, 89 gap power, 86 on the eye. Look at the V left right here. 81 BABIP, 103 power, 89 avoid K, 110 contact, 94 gap, and 91 on the eye. Holy cats. He can play right field. Qualified to learn left. He can play a little bit of center. He can also play second base. Does that mean that the Dodgers may put him at second base next year? Only time will tell. 81 range, 84 error, 81 infield arm, and 72 turn-double play in the infield. And in the outfield, 83 range, 83 error, and 99 on the outfield arm. Whoo boy. 59 speed, 93 stealing, and 112 on the base running for the Dodgers. Solid year for Mookie Betts. 269, 340, 533 on the slash line, 35 homers, 82 RBI, and a 136 OPS plus. He was an all-star this year. Gold Glove Award winner, Silver Slugger winner. Led the Dodgers in wins above replacement with 6.4. And led the team in home runs. Highest WAR since his 2019 season as well. Oh man, Mookie Betts, what a season, what a card we have for him right here. Definitely better against lefties than he is against righties, but he is solid against righties as well. So that's something to keep in mind. Mookie Betts from the LA Dodgers in Perfect Team 23. All right, next up, we stay on the West. We stay in the West, and we go to the AL West. For our next card, we go to the Houston Astros, the world champion Houston Astros. And we have probably one of their best power hitters, if not the best power hitter on the Astros right now. It is 100 overall, Yordan Alvarez from the Houston Astros. 85 BABIP, 118 power, 82 avoid K, 116 contact, 71 gap, and 104 on the eye. Oh man, some big power, big contact, and big eye on this card right here. 119 power against right, 115 power against left. Woo, buddy. Woo, buddy. Serviceable defense in left field, 70 range, 77 error, and 91 on the outfield arm. Speed stealing and base running, negligible. Don't even worry about it. But man, oh man, Yordan Alvarez, your third place finisher in the AL MVP vote. 306, 406, 613 on the slash line, 37 homers, 97 RBI, and a 187 OPS plus. He is qualified to learn first base as well. Use him at your own risk is all I'm going to say. Third in the AL MVP vote, he was an all-star this year, plus a single silver slugger. Third in wins above replacement in the AL. Second in on-base percentage. Third in home runs. Solid year for Yordan Alvarez, who is in Perfect Team 23. All right, next up, speaking of MVP votes, our next player was the runner-up in the National League MVP vote this year. And that, my friends, is 100 overall, Manny Machado from the San Diego Padres. 91 BABIP, 96 power, 79 avoid K, 111 contact, 96 gap, and 84 on the eye. Look at those splits against lefties. Ooh, that is pretty indeed. 91 BABIP, 102 power, 84 avoid K, 115 contact, 102 gap, and 87 on the eye. Pretty good at third base, 88 range, 90 error, 100 on the arm. Cannon over there at third base, and 78 on the turn double play. 39 speed, 84 stealing, 51 base running. So definitely not a stealer, not a base stealer at all. Sack, bunt for hit, not too bad. But man, oh man, Manny Machado, what a year he had for the Padres. 298, 366, 531 on the slash line, 32 home runs, 102 RBI, 159 on the OPS plus. Second in NL MVP this year, was an all-star, finished in the NL in offensive wins above replacement, finished fourth in the NL in batting average, led San Diego in homers, RBI, and average. Just a solid year. Very solid year. MVP caliber year. Finished just short of that this year, but you know what? What a year he had for the Padres. So there you go. Manny Machado from the San Diego Padres in Perfect Team 23. Next up, our next player on the evening, and you know what? To introduce this card, I have to do one thing here. And that is recite the master poetry of a wonderful poet by the name of Blasterjax. Here we go. Here's my southern slang. I speak it every day. I'm trying to get it poppin' each and every way. There's one nation under goons. My goons are stripping all these cats down in their underoos. Edwin Diaz from the New York Mets to 210 stuff, 107 movement, 94 control. Bask in the glory of Edwin Diaz. And those splits against righties. 231 stuff. Like, what? 231 stuff, 110 movement, and 96 control against righties. 185 stuff, 102 movement, 92 control against lefties. Oh man, fastball slider combo, absolutely deadly. And Edwin Diaz, what a year, a spectacular year out of that Mets bullpen. 61 games, 62 innings pitched, a 1.31 ERA, 32 saves, a 17.1 strikeouts per nine. 17 strikeouts per nine. Insane numbers. And 2.6 walks per nine. Oh my goodness. Edwin Diaz, an all-star this year. 4th in the NL in saves. Led MLB relievers in strikeouts per nine by a mile almost. .90 FIP. A .90 FIP. That is insane. And a .839 whip right here. This definitely makes a case for best reliever in the game right now. Oh my God. Edwin Diaz from the New York Mets in Perfect Team 23. Oh man, oh man. Oh man. So there you go. Let's move on back out west to the LA Angels. And you know, it's only one of two guys. It's only one of two guys from the Angels that could be the topper here. There's one of two. It's either Trout or Ohtani. There's no two ways around it. All right? But once we reveal this card, all will be known as to who the topper card is going to be. And that, my friends, the LA Angels topper card is center fielder Mike Trout from the LA Angels. 84 BABIP, 118 power, 70 avoid K, 111 contact, 86 gap, and 95 I. Look at the splits against lefties here. 88 BABIP, 127 power, 71 avoid K, 117 contact, 84 gap, and 105 on the eye. Some good center field defense, 96 range, 100 error, and 82 on the outfield arm. Look at the speed, stealing, and base running. 25 speed, 95 stealing, and 117 on the base running. Ooh. That's sneaky decent right there. Oh man, but this year for Mike Trout, probably one of his more insane years of his career. 283, 369, 630 with 40 home runs in just 119 games. 40 homers in 119 games. That is insane. Career high home run percentage at that rate right there at 8%. Straight up great right there. Led the Angels in average, homers, OPS plus. He was an all-star and Silver Slugger. This is Mike Trout, man. 40 homers, 80 RBI. His teammates were just bad. I mean, we are talking about the LA Angels. Let's be honest with ourselves, War Dude. Oh, man, but this is a solid Mike Trout card. A solid year for the A's right there. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Trout is in Perfect Team 23. All right, our last card before we show off the Topps Topper. And ladies and gentlemen, we have your 2022 American League most valuable player, the guy you've all been waiting for. All rise for Aaron Judge. 86 BABIP, 156 power, 74 void K, 121 contact, 53 gap power, and 95 on the eye. Man, that power. 156 power. 156 power. Can play right field stupendously. Can also play a little bit of center field. 89 range, 91 error, 99 on the arm. Not exactly a gap hitter, but this guy is going to hit dingers. 311, 425, 686. Y'all know what Aaron Judge did this year. It was spectacular. 62 home runs, the single season American League home run record. 131 RBI and a 211 OPS plus. Your 2022 American League MVP. He was an all-star, a silver slugger. Led MLB also in runs, RBI, walks, and OPS plus. Whoo boy. As Palpatine once said, unlimited power. That is what you are getting with Aaron Judge here. Plus some decent speed, stealing and base running. 63 speed, 84 stealing, and 70 on the base running. Oh boy. Aaron Judge from the New York Yankees in Perfect Team 23. So, there is your team rewards for the Topps missions. But, you know, everyone wants to know, who's the topper card? Who's the topper card? Dish, who's the topper card for the Topps collection? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? It's obvious. One of the most outstanding players in the game of baseball today. And that, my friends, is 100 overall, Shohei Ohtani. 89 BABIP, 121 power, 85 avoid K, 121 contact, 93 gap, 95 eye. Look at the splits here against righties. 89 BABIP, 122 power, 85 avoid K, 122 contact, 93 gap, 96 eye, 98 speed, 98 stealing, 98 on the base running. Can sack bunt. He can bunt for hit. He's eligible to learn right field as well. But wait! But wait! There's more! There's more! Ladies and gentlemen, his pitching stats! 127 stuff, 100 movement, 101 control, with 130 stuff against righties, 100 movement against righties, 102 control against righties. Fastball, slider, curveball, splitter, cutter combo. Ah! What a card. Holy cats! Shohei Ohtani. 85 stamina, 50 on the hold runners, 97 and 99 the velocity, ground ball guy. Holy cow. Oh man, let's take a look through this season for Ohtani. I mean, it's not as good as his MVP year was last year, but my oh my, it was still spectacular. 273, 356, 519 on the slash line, 34 home runs, 95 RBI, a 145 OPS plus. Second in the AL MVP vote was an all-star, 3.4 hitter, wins above replacement, fourth in the AL in homers, sixth in the AL in OPS plus. Pitching wise, 15 and 9 on the year, 2.33 ERA, a 1.72 ERA plus, 11.9 strikeouts per 9, 2.4 walks per 9, 6.2 pitching wins above replacement, led the AL in strikeouts per 9, highest K to walk rate of his career. Oh my goodness. Shohei Ohtani, pitcher slash designated hitter from the Angels in Perfect Team 23. Oh my goodness. So there you have it. The team rewards and the overall topper for the Topps collection. And I know some of you are breathing a sigh of relief that this is all over. I know y'all. I know what y'all are saying. But there you go. Some very fun cards. Oh, man. What a night. What a night with spectacular cards. Oh, my goodness. All right, before we sign off for the evening, let's take a quick look at the tournament top 10s from last week and this week. We take a look at the daily traditional tournaments first. DPL 1 and the Barred Owls in first place last week with 229 points. Red Eclipse in second with 214. KC86 in third with 199. Dr. Sox, Tokyo, Frogurt, Bluebird Silver, Ace Rutherford, Isadafo, and B. Hambles rounding out the top 10. And for the weekly traditional tournaments last week, Esther 31 in the Minneapolis Millers in first place with 180 points. Metadurden and the Straw Hats in second with 103. C. Steinhardt and the baseball team in third with 92. Cookie 2, Mad Matt, Bahoot, Khan, KJ22, FJC1, and CF Genesis rounding out the top 10. And in the perfect draft tournaments, we have Waddy 3 in the North York Gridlock in first with 94 points. Mr. Montefen in second with 84. Serial Killer in the East Coast Serial Killers in third with 71. Dinks, Mowiffin, Will777R, Dr. Sox, J.A. Sussman, Bahoot, and Greasy Frank rounding out the top 10. In the weekly perfect draft tournaments, we have Bredav 007 in the Buckrow Beach Bums in first with 52 points. Adam Piet Day and the Bend Trees in second with 49 points. F. Jelios 3 and the Madison Lakers in third with 46. Chili Dave, Jorge Luis Borges, Zargian 3, Bahooters, Tracer Bullet, CBR 2006, and Clark 7th. Rounding out the top 10 last week. All right, and for this week's standings so far in the daily traditional tournaments this week as of noon today, B. Hambles and the Bellingham Bells in first place right now with 111 points. Red Eclipse and the Palatine Plutos in second with 105 points. Dr. Sox and the Walking Dead in third with 103 points. Mac Jacks, Isadafo, KC86, Admiral Relativity, Galoy, RDT24, and FJC1 rounding out the top 10. And in the weekly traditional tournaments, Jake P316 and the Chad Golden Rumps in first with 82 points at this moment. Isadafo in second with 62 points. Mad Matt in third with 51. KC86, Laertes, Tech 15, Mewtwo, Sequest, Metadurden, and Khan rounding out the top 10. And finally, in the perfect draft realm, we have Kefaris in the first position in daily perfect draft tournaments with 53 points. Mount McLeod right behind him in second with 53 points. Hardwick Don and the Bay Area Legacies in third with 42 points. Gabagool X, Tom Budeman, Red 75,000, Fred Beretta, MB Spartan 23, Bearpaw, and Sapimi rounding out the top 10. And finally, in the weekly perfect draft tournaments this week so far, Evil Corp and the Evil Corporation in first with 26 points. Preacher Boy 12 in second with 25. Then we have Forbes 901, Cyrus Bell, Curly Karkovus, Beach Fossils, Rob Huber 211, and Sean Heights joining them with 25 points. Defoe in the incorrect DoorDash orders in ninth with 23 points. And Weaz and the Vancouver Vibes in 10th with 21. So there you go, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's episode of This Week in Perfect Team. Some programming notes once again. Next week's This Week in Perfect Team will be next Friday instead of next Thursday due to American Thanksgiving. So there will be a showdown stream tomorrow, I do believe. I do have a thing for my real life job I need to cover at 6 o'clock tomorrow Eastern time, a couple of hours before that gets started. So I might be running maybe just a little bit late on the stream, but we will have a showdown stream tomorrow night, just so y'all are aware. But next Friday, because of This Week in Perfect Team, there will not be a Friday Showdown stream. So, there you go, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Really appreciate it. Have a great night, everybody. DishNet34 signing out. Have a good night, everybody.